All right, so I've got here a Lacroix Lonestar, or Nazare Lonestar, which is the large battery version of the Lacroix Nazare board. In terms of performance and parts, I'll talk a little bit, but really what I'm here reviewing is, as you can see, this board has seen some wear and tear. We have taken it nearly 500 miles from San Francisco to Los Angeles, riding predominantly on the Pacific Coast Highway. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about how the board holds up given that kind of wear and tear, daily use, doing 50 miles or so a day. This is a board that's meant to take you on adventures. We've tried to put it through the paces, having a little adventure on our own, and so I'm just going to talk about how that's gone. So as you can see, just first of all, excepting for some dirt and grime, the board has held up extremely well. The tires, they're basically just mountain board wheels. This is probably your most likely point of failure. Not on this board, but on one like it, we've had a couple of flats over the last 500 miles. In both instances, like something longer and sharper, it was just a full puncture. There was no chance to patch it. Fortunately, the board does come with a spare, so we were able to just easily replace it on the side of the road and get going like in 5 minutes. But that is your most likely point of failure, and if you're gonna do a big trip, I would definitely bring a few spares. I don't know that we're gonna be able to patch that. The motors have held up extremely well. We have taken them on the highway. When traffic is light, we just take over the lane. Coming down from Big Sur down to Ragged Point, we were just carving the entire road. There was no traffic. You can easily do 30, 35 miles per hour. These things just have so much power. We were in the big hairpin turns. We were faster than the RVs coming around because they have to slow down so much. So you could carve through there at 30 miles per hour, no problem. You can't, especially with the bushings, the riptide bushings that I have on here. I'm rocking green front, gray back, just because I carry so much weight when I'm touring. We can handle any sort of curve or anything that's definitely in a road or in a bike path. If you're really getting into an urban environment where there's lots of ramps on the sidewalk that turn at 90 degrees and stuff, you're going to have to probably get off the board to turn it. Alternatively, these wheels are so meaty and the board absorbs shocks and stuff, you'd be surprised, like the sort of small curbs and stuff, that you can just roll right over. If the curve is too sharp, just go right through the grass because this thing will take it, no problem. The weight of the battery underneath this carbon fiber and wood deck is awesome for absorbing bumps. Even compared to the regular Nazare, we noticed that the ride is a little bit more smooth on this one when the asphalt is rough. I think it's just all the weight absorbing the vibrations, and so it's a really smooth ride if you're on top. That said, you do notice the smooth pavement. It feels like butter while you're riding. It's almost like carving when you're on fresh powder on a snowboard. It feels the same way. It's just a really nice smooth ride. The pneumatic tires, the suspension, the bushings, the weight of the board, it all makes for a really, really smooth, nice ride on big open roads and things like that. We've also taken them off-road onto trails. They handle that pretty well. Anything that starts to get really rough, like a mountain bike trail, is gonna be tough. And you're really not gonna be able to appreciate the speed and acceleration that the board offers you. So I would say stick to fire roads, dirt paths, packed beaches, that sort of thing. That said, if the sand gets too loose, you can let out some air from the tires, but with your weight and everything else, if the tires get down in there into the sand, they're not gonna do you any favors. It might be hard to ride. I definitely took at least one fall where I hit a patch of loose sand and the board just stopped. In terms of the little details, all of it has held up phenomenally. We have gone over so much crazy stuff, and I don't even have a loose bolt. All the bolts, are titanium, all the nuts are titanium, and nothing has come loose. Everything is phenomenal. The headlights are bright when we've ridden in the dark. I would say you definitely want taillights if you're on the road. I've got light on my helmet. You can mount some taillights on the back is one of the options when you buy the board. In terms of the range, that's the question that's maybe the first question everybody asks when they see you roll up on this thing, or they see you out in the middle of nowhere. This is a beast. We have never run out of power on the Lonestar. That said, it's because we're typically also riding with a Nazare. The Nazare will have to charge after about 21, 22 miles, fully loaded touring. That's with hills and stuff as well, and going a little bit fast, just because what's the point if you're not having fun? As you can see, we're currently powering the Nazare RV park, so your best friend when you're on a long tour, because you know they're gonna have power. We just asked at the front gate, said, hey, we're on this tour, can we just plug in really quick? They're cool about it, so we did. The deciding factor is going to be all about the range. Do you need to go far, or will you be out in the field a long time between charging? Get the Lonestar. Otherwise, Nazare is going to do everything that you need to do. It's got the speed. If you're just out there trying to race, bombing hills as fast as possible in your full leather, cool guy, ninja outfits, get the Nazare, it'll do everything that you need. I would say if you're pushing it past 55 or you're riding really fast, lots of hills, you're probably going to want to juice it a little bit during the day. It does take a long time to charge up with the 12 amp charger that we have. It takes 3 hours, 45 minutes when it's close to empty, but that's after like a 50-mile day. It is just absolutely a freight train of power. It will just keep going and going. When we stop at lunch, we juice the Nazare. We don't even have to charge up the Lonestar. So in terms of touring, I would say the Lonestar is the benchmark if you're gonna go on an e-board tour. It's comfortable. It hasn't failed me in 500 miles. I personally haven't even gotten a flat tire. I would just recommend in a group, you're gonna want multiple chargers as points of redundancy. You're gonna wanna bring spare belts. You wanna bring spare tires, maybe some spare bearings and fasteners, but everything else, like it's truly just fantastic. Like if you're gonna tour, this is the way to do it. If you have any questions about the tour itself, we've got other videos about the tour. Check those out. If you want to ask us a question, if you're planning your own tour, please reach out to us. Drop us a line, email through our website or a comment below, and we'll try and get back to you as soon as we can, because I think this board is going to set a new sort of standard in terms of what's possible for e-board touring. People aren't really doing it right now, but I hope they will begin soon, because there's no cooler way to travel than just carving up the roads as you move across the country, and just, it's absolute freedom. I really can't describe it in any other way.